There have been sustained efforts to fight against early marriages and other forms of gender-based violence in South Sudan. Crown the Woman, a non-profit organization, is working closely with women and girls to debunk culturally held beliefs that women have no value in the South Sudanese society. The organization has launched social media campaigns against the derogatory term Marasakit, which means you are just a woman. Joining me to discuss this issue is Riya Williams, the Executive Director of Crown the Woman. Riya, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you so much, Esther, for having me here.
What a title, Crown the Woman. How are you planning to do that in South Sudan?
Well, through a lot of ways. Just like the title suggests, Crown the Woman, we have to just make the women of South Sudan and the girls of South Sudan to feel like they are queens that has been left out for so long.
Now, last year you addressed the United Nations General Assembly on the same topic. What's your approach and what is different that will change a culture that is so deeply rooted, not only in South Sudan, but also in Africa? You know, for generations, this has been the case. Women are seen as the lower, gender.
Right. Thank you so much, Esther. I mean, Crown the Woman is not just a name of Crown the Woman or something that came from nowhere. It came, first of all, from personal experiences, from personal pains, from not just me, but other young sisters that we came up together with this name, Crown the Woman. And yes, I addressed the UN General Assembly last year, and we were talking about issues of women and specifically gender-based violence. And these issues have been going on in South Sudan for a long time. And as we know, South Sudan is still a young country. We just gained our independence in 2011, but yet we have so many struggles and still struggling even to attain peace in our country.
Mm-hmm. But what do you do now to make this culture, change?
Yes,
because a lot of people think the same way.
I am going there. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we have a lot of community dialogues, and as you said, of course, this culture has been there. It will always be there, and we may die when it's still there. One thing that I want to say is culture is a very beautiful thing, but there are just some negative things that are attached to culture that we don't want. One of them is forcing young girls into marriage, which is very common in South Sudan. If you look at the statistics of South Sudan, about 40% to 52% of girls are married off below the age of 18. And this is against their wish. They don't want this. And when you hear terms in South Sudan, they will tell you it's normal. It's normal for a young girl as young as 14 to be married off. This is our culture. And we ask ourselves, what culture is this? Where did it come from? And where is it going? And as Crown the Woman, we use community dialogues, because it's not easy to come to a woman who is 80 and say, don't accept your daughter to be married off. It's not easy to go to men who want their daughters to be married off for as much as 100 cows and convince them that do not marry off these girls. So the best approach we take is community dialogues. Mm-hmm. We use storytelling, using films and comic books, mm-hmm. and debates to just provoke people's thoughts and conversations on the issue.
Now, very briefly, what kind of social media tools are you using, and are they making any impact?
Social media is also another tool that we use in Crown the Woman to speak about this issue of child marriage. And we use Facebook, for example. We use Twitter. And for Facebook, we get different people. We get teachers, we get students, we get parents, we get lawmakers, we get partners to just speak about what is their thought on child marriage, where did it come from, what are the impacts of child marriage on our young girls and even the young boys, and what is it that we can do to change it. If you're a young girl and you've gone through child marriage, you've been forced through it, what was your experience? We've had a girl as young as 14 who shares her thought about she was forced into marriage because she got pregnant at that age. So one of the driving causes is that getting married out of the wedlock. So if you get pregnant, quickly you're forced into marriage. whichever age it is, because they want to take away the shame.
So do you see the using social media tools, making any difference, any impact so far?
Well, it is making a lot of impact, because one of the things is...
We can't go too far, because yes, it's doing something, and we hope that it will continue to make changes.
Well,
we're running out of time.
All right, I know we are running out of time, but it's creating a lot of changes, because it's the start of a conversation among South Sudanese. And besides, social media is a new tool, and since we are catching up with the era of technology, that is one thing that we really want to ensure that youth take advantage of.
Riya, thank you. Very, very impressive. Riya Williams is the Executive Director of Crown the Woman.